Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm going to talk to you guys about what's going on with the stock market, of course, as usual, but also I want to talk about how a friend of mine actually acquired millions of dollars in Bitcoin, and he did it kind of accidentally. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first, and you ain't got to be Black to be here. You ain't even really got to like Black people if you don't want to, but as long as you understand that we love Black people, we put our community first, then that's fine with me. So if you agree with the B1 philosophy, putting Black people first, put a B1 in the chat, hashtag B1. We must put ourselves first so we can solve our own problems and stop waiting for Superman, stop waiting for everybody else to do it. You can do it on your own. Now, with that said, I want to tell you guys a quick story that I think is really hilarious. I have a friend who is a friend of the family, let's just say that. And one day we were sitting around and we were having kind of a family business conversation, right? You know, in case you don't do it, your family should probably have maybe once a week, once every month or so, where you just sit down and you just talk about money, right? You just talk about wealth. You talk about money making ideas. It ain't about, I'm not talking about getting together to do no Instagram flexing and talk about how much money you made and how rich you are, or how you gotta, how people take those selfies in front of the new Mercedes with the bow on it and then put a hashtag blessed, right? Like, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed that my wife got me this new. Stop that. Just stop that. That's silly. That's immature, right? So stop the Instagram flexing. You don't need none of that. Money is here to give you security. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, with that said, here's what I want you to consider. If you get together with family, you just talk about how can we help each other out? How can we come together as a unit? How can we build wealth together? That is incredibly powerful. That is incredibly beneficial to your loved ones. That is an incredible way to build a legacy that's going to last forever. So I hope you will. Give me a yes in the chat if you confirm to me that you're willing to at least consider this idea. Give me a yes if you're going to. I want everybody. This is your homework for today. You know me, Uncle Boyce, Dr. Boyce, going to give you some homework. So how many of you are going to at least try to get to reach out to a loved one and say, let's sit down. Let's just talk about money. Let's talk about business. Let's talk about stocks. Let's talk about crypto. Let's just talk a little bit. Some of y'all are already doing it, but I want to just state this as kind of like something where I want you guys not to come to this podcast to be entertained. I don't want you to come here as a favor to me. I want you to come here because you can walk away saying, I got something from being here. So give me a yes if you're going to reach out to a loved one and connect with them and just kind of say, hey, let's have a conversation about money. I sat down with my sister and I did that a few minutes ago, and I gave a little stock tip on a stock that I thought that she may want to buy and get it on autopilot, where she can automatically invest a certain amount of money in this stock every week until the stock eventually takes off, because a lot of analysts think it's going to do well. If you want to know what that stock is, well, my stock tip of the day is a company called Jabil Circuit, Jabil. Jabil. Somebody please write it in there in case somebody can't hear it or they missed it or something like that. Jabil, Jabil. The ticker symbol is JBL. It is in the electric vehicle space, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of analysts are very high on this company. I think this is going to be a company that's going to do well. But then again, it's not about picking the right stock. It's about picking lots of stocks that could be the right stocks so that you are in the game when the game takes off. Why is that important? Well, let me tell you a story. I have a friend of the family who was sitting there. We were sitting around, we were talking finance and money and everything else, right? And like our family does, just kind of on a regular basis. And so one day, you know what he says? He's literally laughing. Now, mind you, let me just lay it out for you so you can understand this, so I can kill some of your myths about, how you need to go to college and all this other stuff in order to build wealth. I'm not saying college is bad. I was a college professor for many, many years. I still am. But college isn't the only way to get an education. So I just want you to kind of be okay with that. So he didn't go to college. Nobody gave him a silver spoon. He wasn't born rich, never got an inheritance. But he one day, literally, he's laughing and he says, I said, what's so funny? He said, man, I found out last week I got $4 million in Bitcoin. I said, what? The record player just rips off the needle. Zoop, what'd you say? He said, yeah, man. He said, I bought some Bitcoin. I said, how many Bitcoins you get? He said, about 80 of them. And I said, what? He said, yeah, man, I bought about 80 Bitcoins back in 2013, and I forgot I owned them. And I went back to look. He said, how much is a Bitcoin worth? I said a Bitcoin is $58,000, dude. Like, are you serious right now? I kid you not. Again, black man, right? Everybody says, "Whoa, it's me. It's so hard to be black. Being black is so terrible. Like, ain't no opportunity." This man, my cousin, a black man, literally with no college degree. Literally, I gave it away. I said it to my cousin. I try not to put my family members on blast. I said friend of the family because I don't like people knowing, I don't want to put my family out there if they didn't answer this. But this inspired the hell out of me. This blew me away. I said, are you kidding me? You literally have $4 million worth of Bitcoin and you didn't even know it. Let me tell you how he got that money. He got the money by doing something that a lot of people do not do, but it is a very simple investment strategy. You know what he did? He bought that shit and waited. He just bought it and he waited. He didn't even think about it. He bought it. He made the investment. He went somewhere else, like a goose sitting on the golden egg, waiting for the egg to hatch. He didn't buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. He wasn't trying to constantly overtrade. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trading, but I'm saying to you that you can make money without being in too much of the hustle bustle. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying that literally he built a $4 million empire because he forgot. Like the best thing that could ever happen to him is that he forgot he owned the asset. And then later on, he's like, oh, that's right. I think I own some Bitcoins. Back when he bought them, maybe they were, $100 each. He bought 80 of them. He's like, I got $8,000. This Bitcoin thing, they say it's going to take off. So I'm going to invest $8,000. Woo, that's a lot of money. So let's say the Bitcoin went up to like 400. He would have been like, man, I got to sell. Woo. It can't be. I mean, it hit 400. It may not stay that high. That's a big number. Woo! Bitcoin, $400. Woo! Right? And then let's say it gets to 1,000. Well, he's definitely gonna sell 1,000, right? And maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000. I mean, you gotta sell 2,000. But you don't? But the thing is, you can't. If you're always looking down, you never see what's above you. If you're always looking down at hell, you never see heaven out there. You never see the possibilities. Right? If you focus on the limitations. So ultimately, the best thing that could have ever happened to him is that he did not block himself from his own blessing. Well, most of us block ourselves from our blessing. We block ourselves from our own opportunity because we maybe we overthink it. Maybe we let fear drive our decision making as opposed to being inspired by the possibilities. Maybe we think we're smarter than we are. First thing I learned, I have a PhD in finance. That's like an MBA is like tiny compared to a PhD. We taught MBA students, we taught PhD students, right? So I know a lot of stuff about finance that people can't even conceive. I'm talking about high level mathematics where you literally have to take classes with math PhD students just to understand the basic concepts. I'm not kidding. Like I've seen it at the highest levels. But here's the thing. The first thing I learned when I really understood this is not to overthink it. And also what I learned is that you ain't never as smart as you think you are. If you think that if you are smart and you think that you're always smart, then that probably means you're dumb. The person who thinks they know everything is usually the person who doesn't know anything. And I'm gonna tell you right now, in the market, you see lots of scams. You see lots of people throwing stuff out there, fly by night, fast money schemes, these pyramid type situations, and people are jumping at them. I understand that because they don't know what's going on. But I'm telling you, all this brother did to get $4 million that he can now pass to his children is he bought the Bitcoin and he waited for it to grow. That's it. He just bought it and let it sit there. So don't overthink it. That's what I'm saying. Don't overthink it. All right. So do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, subscribe. And by the way, in the Black Business School, we do have a new Forex program. If you're interested in participating, if you're interested in learning how Forex trading works and how to be a part of that, stuff like that, we got a great guy named Courtney Logan, who's an attorney. He's a 4-time national debate champion, which was pretty impressive. And he is one of our adjunct faculty on the Forex program. So feel free to go to boycewatkins.com and you can see the link right there at the top of the bio. You have one more on his mastermind, so feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. The link's right there at the top of the bio, or if you're on Instagram, just click the link in the bio, so it's right there on that page. All right, so the last thing I'll mention to you as far as this week is that in general, one thing that's interesting, I read this article today that was basically talking about the fact that this is the third year in a row where the stock market has had double-digit returns. That's very, very rare. A lot of people think that eventually the jig is going to be up. And what's going to happen is a lot of investors are going to filter out. You're going to have a lot of the retail traders who were hooked on the meme stocks. They're going to start moving away. So ultimately, what you're probably going to have to do is figure out where you want to plant your flag and find some assets that you want to just own for the long haul, maybe some mutual funds, things like that. What I'll also do is I'm actually going to dab a little bit with some options plays. I'll talk to you guys about some of that a little bit later. And also, if you want to see more in terms of stocks that I like for this week, I mentioned to you Jabil Circuit. I'll mention some other stocks when we talk again in class. If you don't know about the stock market investing class, we meet every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. The link is right there. You can join the class. The first 30 days are totally free. And so in general, right now, obviously, the Fed is the big mover in stocks. You have inflationary fears. You also have this issue with this Omicron variant. It's still not quite out of the woods yet. And one of the things that they said here about 2022 is as sensible and as safe as this kind of forecast sounds. And they're talking. So let me back up. On one level, it's simply an instinctive reluctance to assume the lavishly generous returns of the past few years will carry forward, with the S&P 500 up 25% in 2021, which is huge, by the way, and having delivered 23% annual total returns over the past 3 years, despite a 35% crash interrupting the ride. As sensible and as safe as this forecast sounds, a quirk of the market's stream of returns is that in any calendar year, it has been surprisingly rare for the index to come close to that very long-term average. In only 5 years, pay attention now, in only 5 years since 1928 was the S&P 500 total return between 8% and 12%. Only 5 years was the S&P 500 total return between 8 and 12%. By contrast, the index has been negative 5 times as often and has gained more than 20% in more than 30 separate years, with 2021 on track to join that roster. So effectively, what they're basically saying is that this year you had, money on crack. You had, basically a financial crack house. Everybody was making money. Everybody's excited about stocks. A lot of people are jumping in because they want that money really fast. Those people are going to disappear once the real work begins. It's almost like a relationship where everybody enjoys the first 6 weeks of really great sex. And then after about 6 to 9 months, when things start getting tough, right? When the chemicals in your brain, particularly phenylethylamine and dopamine and the other chemicals that give you that high when you give each other a kiss, when those chemicals wear off and the discipline sets in, where you really got to actually have a relationship where you're dealing with each other's stuff and raising kids or whatever it is that you're doing, a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people can't stand the rain. A lot of people ain't in it for the long-term relationship. They're in it for the quick hit. So in the financial markets, it's the same thing. That very same dopamine that gets released when you meet a pretty girl is the same dopamine that you feel when you meet a pretty stock or you make some pretty money in your pretty bank account. Now, when that bank account starts getting ugly, that bank account starts gaining a little bit of weight, that bank account starts looking kind of bad. The question is, are you going to stick it out? Some of you will, some of you won't. I'm here for those of you that will, because investing is a long-term game. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's see. Dent is asking about the hyper fund. I will talk about that in class. So join us in class. Click the link in the bio, join my stock market class, put the hyper fund in there. I will research it. I will come to class with a full answer for you based on that. But you got to join the class to do that. So I can't do that within the scope of this conversation. All right, guys. So have a good day. I will see you soon, and God bless you. Please hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll see you later. Take care now.